Hi, my name is Dylan Wegela, and I'm a public school teacher and union activist running for state representative. I myself and my wife live here in Garden City, and my family has ties to our community all the way back to the 1960s, where my grandfather, William Harris, owned the Kegler House bowling alley. My mother and her 6 siblings all graduated from Garden City Public Schools, and I myself student taught at the high school. I'm running to fight for our community, to make sure that we have strong public schools, schools that have teachers who are paid appropriately, and that our students have the mental health care needs that they deserve. I would like to see more funding, not only for educators, but for social workers and counselors in our public schools. Lastly, I'd like to see us have equitable schools so that our students here in Garden City receive the same quality of education as everywhere else in the state. I also have a labor background. I would like to see us fight for worker rights, to make sure that, number one, we repeal right to work and allow unions to do the job that they were meant to do, which is fight and negotiate for worker salaries, conditions, and benefits. On that note, I believe it's time for us to move towards a universal system of health care and make sure that people are not profiting off of our sickness. I'd like to see retirees be taken care of. We need to stop taxing retirees and start taxing billionaires. In Michigan, we have a flat tax, which means that workers, retirees, and the like are being taxed at the same rate that our billionaire class is. I've been endorsed, and I'm proud to be endorsed by a list of organizations such as the UAW, the Michigan Education Association, the American Federation of Teachers, the League of Conservation Voters, Planned Parenthood, Vote Pro-Choice, Rashida Tlaib, and many others. Check out my website, dylanwegela.com, to see a list of endorsements. I just want one more thing. This November, it's extremely important to vote. We have reproductive freedom rights on the line, we have voting rights on the line, and most importantly, we have a chance to flip the House and the Senate here in Michigan. I intend to fight for all people in Garden City. One thing that makes me unique is that I do not take corporate money. If elected, I will be one of the rare people in Lansing that is not tied to lobbyists and corporations. And I ask for you to help get me there and for your support on November 8th. Thank you.
My name is James Townsend. I've been a Garden City resident for 37 years. My wife Dreama and I have been married for 40 years. We've been precinct delegates for most of that time. And at this time, I'm a school bus driver for special needs in the Garden City school system. I got the bus with the wheelchair lift. And prior to that, I worked for 20 years with Detroit, Michigan's largest homeless network, where I helped the homeless and the drug and alcohol addicted to get clean and sober and put their lives on a right track so they can find success. As a representative in our district, I support the pro-life issues and validating signatures to ensure honesty in election, and the Second Amendment rights and the rights of parents to protect their children's education. When the Detroit News gave me their endorsement, they rightly said that I would bring a different perspective to education issues. Now, pro-life, I do not feel that the Proposition 3 is a good thing, a good fit for our state. It's probably the most radical abortion law in the whole country, and it would allow abortion right up to birth and who knows beyond. And anyone could have this. It's considered a right, and they could be a minor. Minors don't need to report these things to their parents, and the parents need to be be in control of their children's lives. And the amendment would provide access to birth control and cross-sex hormones and many other experimental things that sound like something like a mad scientist. We don't need to subject our children to those things. When they're in school, they need to learn to read well. I recommend phonics. I don't know what they're doing. They had a look-see method for a long time, and people weren't learning to read, or if they did, they learned to hate reading. So there was a time when we had 98% literacy in the country. Thomas Jefferson bragged that the farmer in the field is reading Homer. So we need to have a great education system. I think literacy right now is around 50%. I am pro the Second Amendment. I think that a good guy with a gun stops a bad guy with a gun, and crime is on the rise. People want to defund the police, and that's not a good thing. George Soros had promoted soft on crime prosecutors, turning them right back out into the street. If that's the case, then we need to be able to protect our families. And in education, they're promoting a lot of experimental philosophies, the critical race theory, and the 1619 project that is largely a work of fiction, rewriting our American history and making the country generally look bad. No wonder the children go through school and they wind up hating the country. And we need to teach children about all the good things about America. People die to try and get here. It's a great country. So those are my perspectives. As a state representative, I want to pursue resources that would help our community. I'll attend as many as I can, school board meetings, community meetings, and find out what keeps people awake at night, what's important to them. And so I'll speak to constituents as often as I can and report back to them what's going on in Lansing. And we'll work together to find solutions to problems or whatever you all like to talk about. That would be fine with me because I would be working for you. Thank you so much.